I'm gonna try and make a little sword and see what happens. Right, so I'm gonna sketch out what I think I might want. Right, okay, turns out drawing is a lot harder than it looks. I think I want to make something along the lines of this. I think I've got an idea. Right, so literally all I've done is I've copied and pasted this into Word, and then up here I'm just gonna change the size. Right, so I've now cut this out. Right, so I tried to glue this down and the Pritt stick just like mushed. I'm gonna try and dry this somehow. Alright, well this isn't gonna dry anytime soon, so I guess I'm just gonna start. Right, so what I've done is I've cut in loads of these little notches here. That basically just means I don't bite into the material when I'm cutting it down. Right, so I've cut all these teeth off now. It's very blocky right now, so I'm just going to take a file and file it all down. So now I've filed all of this bit down to be level with the paper. Time to move back a bit. Right, so I brought that down now, so go to the other side. Might do this side with power tools because that took ages. Right, so I just cut this out with the angle grinder, and all the papers come off, which isn't great. I can still do this bit here, but then I might need to put the pattern printed one out. Okay, so things went bad. We're gonna change it up a bit, and we're just gonna make a different looking sword. Right, so I used this tri-square just to get a rough idea of 90. Now I've locked this in a vise, so now I'm just gonna file this side down until it's flat. Right, so I've just given that a few licks with the file. This side, the right, is slightly higher than the left. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a ruler and I'm just gonna scratch a line just straight across. Okay, so I've just scribed that line. I don't know if you can see it. Looks like you can. So now I'm gonna file these down to that. Oh, you definitely can't see it from that angle. Okay, so I've just noticed something. This up here, these angled upwards, actually, I quite like it. Right, so I've got the handle in now, and I've got this bottom bit down to the same as that bottom bit. So now it's time to put these little lightning bolt things in. Right, so I've cleaned up those edges. It's now at this. I guess round up the handle now. Right, so I've knocked all the corners off this. Now I'm just gonna go and round it up. Right, so I've rounded up the handle thing, the like grip bit. Wow. And now I'll work the guard probably. Right, so I've clamped this down like this and I've got it in paper towels so I don't scratch up anything, damage anything. I'm just gonna take this top layer of scale off. Right, so I've cleaned all the scale off it. Right, so I've rounded up those edges on the guard. Right, so I've got the bevels in. Obviously it doesn't come to a point. It's just aesthetic. This sharpening stone is basically just a really high grit abrasive. So I'm just gonna take this to this, polish up those edges. That's that polished up. Right, so I'm gonna heat this handle bit up until it's like red hot-ish. Dunk it in the oil. Bring the heat down the handle a bit more, and then right, okay, that's not really worked. Right, let's see if that's done anything. So, I've cleaned up the blade and the guard. And now I'm gonna try and get some other colours on there. Right, so I've got the blade in water so it doesn't heat up. And I'm just gonna hit this with a blowtorch until I get the colour I want on the guard. Right, so now this isn't as shiny. I'm just gonna move on to the blade and maybe try and get a specific colour, I'm not sure. Right, so I've got the temper colours to run it. So it doesn't really look like it on camera, but in person the blade is like a brassy gold mini sword. So I don't actually know how I'd put this on a keychain, but... Alright guys, so this has been the little sword. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun. If you did enjoy it, subscribe. Leave a comment if you want. If you liked the video, like it. If you didn't, dislike it. Anyway, yeah, see you next Wednesday. Later, game.